All right, we here with Archbishop Jeffrey, resident Illuminati spokesperson.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, dark and conspiracies and how artists are going to the next level. So let's talk about Doja Cat.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of cryptic messages on IG, and then she's also like drew pictures, and they look real like demonic and evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it, I guess she brought it to life in the video and some other pictures. So explain that, like, and on top of that, she's having a lot of other stuff saying that she don't know her fans. Like, I don't know y'all like that, and then other stuff. So, like, what is y'all evil agenda with Doja Cat?
So with Doja Cat, we propositioned her when we seen how how when she released her song, the Move song, and we were gonna take her in a lane of troll rap, but when we propositioned her, she didn't like black man. So we noticed she liked white man, and we brought her to our rooms where, before every artist gets to go to the next level, they have to do a few heinous acts, and we record them when they're doing all of these heinous acts. So we have things to use against them when we want to cancel them or take their careers away. So she came to our rooms, and allegedly she did a few things with a few children, allegedly, and we also slept with her, and we weren't aware of her sexual we weren't aware of her sexual appeal at the beginning of her career, because she mostly kept herself up and kept herself covered. So when we noticed her sexual appeal, we made her change her entire look to so we could push more sex. We made her her change her content and what she spoke about in her music. Most of her music was kind of, PG-13, that we like to say. And in order for her to be with us, what she wanted desperately, we gave her some writers, we gave her a say in Bible, and we initiated her with a few of our rituals, and that's what we want her to push to the people, because you know when we finally get them in our grasp, that's we want them to be able to express that in their music, so we could draw as many people in and make our agendas as normal as possible. So that's her job so far, and she's fulfilling that job, and she's reeling as many people into hell that we like.
And did you supply the goats like you supplied the YSL members? That YSL, the goat sacrifice, y'all supply the goats.
So the thing about the goats are. Have you seen the movie Get Out?
Mm-hmm.
And have you seen how they would transfer the consciousness of one person to another person?
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we transfer a consciousness to the goat. It's not really the goat that we're sacrificing. We transfer the consciousness of one person to the goat, and then we kill the goat.
Mm.
So the flesh can't feel the pain. So that's what the goat sacrificing is for.
Got it. You hear that breaking news? All right, so here's more things. So this is like another thing to piggyback. Next topic: Lizzo humiliation ritual. She's doing things to her dancers. What are y'all feeding to her to make her do that? And do y'all want her to fit into that big woman image and big woman agenda? Because that's like big woman energy. I'm sorry, guys.
So when it comes to Lizzo's career, her career has been kind of silent lately.
Mm-hmm.
Her career has been she hasn't had a hit record in a while. We released her record with SZA recently, and the record didn't go as planned as we thought it would. So what we've initiated is her humiliation ritual, and this will get her to the next level. These rituals that we're speaking on is she was due for sacrifice for her to go to the next level in her career. And with that, she then is, for lack of terms, what she was doing to her workers was an audition for who could be sacrificed. So all of those things she was doing to them, that was pretty much their audition to see who would be qualified to be sacrificed. What can they get away with? How can we put them into certain situations? How can how if we see that her workers will do this type of act, can we set them up with a individual who could kill them in a potential, sex gape act? So that's what she was doing with those people. And yes, sir.
Why the banana? Did y'all tell her what to do, or did you say you come up with something creative, Lizzo?
Exactly. We pretty much just told her come up with something creative. So I'm sorry, but I have to speak on something.
Go ahead.
There's a artist name. There's a actor named Angus Cloud, and it just was brought to my attention that his mother is trying to out us and claim that his death wasn't a suicide. So my artist, ChrisJay Jackin, recently spoke on that, and he said he highly doubts it was a suicide, and he wouldn't be surprised if the parents said that it wasn't a suicide and it wasn't a drug overdose. And recently, just now, they just said that. This is breaking news. So what we want to tell their parents is we will be after them soon, because we spoke with them recently and we told them to just hush it up. And you see, the thing with Angus Cloud, we noticed his spark in his eyes. We noticed he looked very similar to Mac Miller. We also noticed we spoke with his business rep, his talent agency by the name of Jennifer Venditti. And her show, we her show, her job is to go out, and for her show to take off, we told her you have to go out and choose someone to put up for sacrifice for your show to be number one. And Angus Cloud was the individual that she chose. And what we do is we line them up by the numbers. We get them, we we make them pass away however we feel according to numbers. We could use numbers, and we could plan someone's demise just based off those numbers. If you pay attention to the numbers 369, you'll always find those numbers pop up in the deaths of these individuals that always pass away, whether it was Tupac, whether it was Pop Smoke, whether it's Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, King Von. A lot of these people, Amy Winehouse, Robin Williams, a lot of these people, you're going to see the numbers constantly appear 369. And I'm going to tell you how we did it with Angus Cloud. So his birthday is July 10th. Okay. And if you think of July 10th, you get July, which is the seventh month. And then you get 1 plus 0, which is 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. He passed away on July 31st. Excuse me. Pardon me. And 3 times 1 is 3. When you look up the meaning of the word cloud, you're gonna find in etymology. If you're not familiar with etymology, look up the meaning of the word cloud. You're gonna find the number cloud 9. That is gonna pop up. And we also pulled the 9 in several instances where In an article we released, we put out his last picture was on July 18th. Okay. In one of those pictures, he showed off his 18 karat gold ring. The headquarters of his talent agency, JV8 Inc. Okay. Now, the way the JV8 Inc. is spelled out is JV8 and then the I is capital. It kind of resembles a 1. Okay, so JV8 Inc. and then that goes your 18 there. We pick the 9s everywhere, a lot of places, and 8s. And then we also did it by the last day he posted his 18 karat ring, and the address of his talent agency is 118 Mercer Street. You know, so this is how we get rid of the artists or the characters that we create. And just think about it this way. She found him. His role on her show was his first role ever. He didn't even want to be famous. His role on her show was his first role ever. He kept telling all of us he felt uncomfortable. He didn't want to be famous. He felt Jennifer Venditti was a scammer. He really didn't trust the woman. And we also propositioned his best friend, and his best friend turned it down because he felt we were scammy or we were trying to do something to them, which we were. We specifically chose him
because he was on Euphoria, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
that
tell me
weird
this.
Show.
Tell me this,
Crazy
sir.
Show.
What's the odds of a random person who's never acted in a major film or has any type of professional acting experience being hand chosen randomly while he's working to be on the most popular show in the world?
Mm-hmm.
You see, we handpicked him, and you know, we had to make her line up the numbers so we could, you know, push her show to the forefront so her show can go back to number 1 to pass the Weeknd show. Because recently the Weeknd dropped his show and it went to number 1 past Euphoria. Well, his talent agency didn't like that. So if you go on their website, it's going to say preparation for the next life. And that was their preparation for their next transition to get back to number 1. So for the Weeknd, he is also due for a sacrifice. Sooner or later, someone around him will be passing away.
I would have figured he'd been done sacrifice somebody. He'd been big, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So
but he's due for another sacrifice.
Exactly, but he hasn't given us one. So one is coming very soon because we've propelled him to the largest artist in the world. He's the most streamed on Spotify. He has a very trending show, number 1, which is going to go to number 2 since Euphoria has made their sacrifice. So, yes.
You hear it here first. Okay. Next topic. We're going to do YNW Melly sacrificed his friends and said he'd do it himself.
Oh, yes. We love YNW Melly. He's the bravest heart that we ever had before. We've never, ever had this one happen before. You know, we spoke to YNW Melly, and, you know, right after he did that, we gave him a Kanye West feature, and we took him to the next level. So we told him he was due for sacrifice to go to the next level in his career, and he told us he'll do it himself. And that's exactly what he did, allegedly. And we told him, well, you know, because of that, we're going to take you to the next level and you're going to beat your case. So he will be out of jail pretty soon. He told, we love YNW Melly. We know him personally, and he's actually not, he's just a sick individual. And when someone like me, who does all the sick things in the book you can think of, calls an individual sick, he really does have multiple personalities. We've put multiple demons into his head. We've put
His last name is Demons.
Exactly. We had to give him some sort of, we had to give him some more pizzazz for him to be able to go through with it, because at first he was a little iffy about it. He didn't want to do it, but he built up the courage and he did it himself. And he will be beating his case. He will be coming home soon. So we applaud Melly for being brave and taking care of those sacrifices himself.
And then he made a song about it too. So y'all, man.
Correct.
All right. Okay, last topic for you, my guy. It looks like, what happened was Kai Cenat did some things, PS5 giveaway. It looks like stream setups as well as some money downtown in New York somewhere. I don't know the exact location, but people are saying, like the conspiracy theorists out there are saying, that he's been taken and now he's getting work to be cloned.
So Kai Cenat, he wasn't on our radar for a while, and based on that certain instance, we realized his influence and the power he has within his community. And with someone who can assemble that many thousands of people at one time, is someone who can assemble revolution if they would like. So we had to immediately go and pick him up and talk to him about which direction his career would be going. Will he continue to work with us, or will he vanish? So yes, we took him in, we spoke with him, and we told him certain things that we want him to continue pushing. We want him to continue pushing lots of sex to the young children. We want him to keep pushing degeneracy to the young children and how they grow up. And we pretty much let him know that we run everything. He was never in jail. He was talking to us. So Kai Cenat, we really like him, and we're going to keep a close eye on him, because he does have a way of gathering thousands of people, and we don't like that at all.
Oh yeah, one more thing, we'll be done. What are you guys pushing out there with the kids ankle monitor? I saw this thing with kids ankle monitor, and basically, you've got an app, you can control them. They try to get out of a zone, it makes a noise on your phone, and it's a full-on ankle monitor, like Fisher Price or whatever. Is that legalizing ghettophilia? Is that the next step inching towards it?
So we've been having those on the islands. We have those islands, on the islands. We've been having those. We just never put them out to the public, because we weren't sure how the public would take it if they knew we were doing these things to children. So on Epstein Island, ours are a bit more, what's the word? A bit more pricey, a bit more high tech, a bit more edgier, a bit more raunchy. Ours emit an electric shock in the leg if they pass. So this is a workup from our way of showing the people of being able to assimilate the people with some of our practices. So sooner or later, we want to make it to where the parents want a more what's the word? A more dependable way to keep an eye on older children rather than just toddler children. So say they have a 14-year-old, They're gonna want the more high tech version that will prevent their children from sneaking out, that will prevent their children from going to certain places, keeping them. This will be our way of people control, pretty much.
And knowing where the people are.
Correct.
For the human trafficking.
Correct.
Dang, sick world this is, man.
So on all of these, they're all trackers, and they all have to be programmed to a phone. It's our way of keeping track of all the children, because as you guys know, we love children. And one more thing, I want to speak on Gunna.
Oh yeah, his latest album video dropped. Video dropped in Rodeo Drive, and it did like almost 2 million views in a day.
So as far as Gunna, I want people to know this. Gunna will be okay, and what he went through was simply his humiliation ritual. All of them are due for it. Gunna and Young Thug would be okay. They made their sacrifice, aka Little Kid, allegedly. And, Little Kid was beloved. We loved him as well. We loved his music. Young Thug made multiple sacrifices for us. Also, his sister was one of them. So, Gunna, and we work with a lot of artists. We've been working with Gunna, YNW Melly, Young Thug. YNW Melly said he'd do his sacrifices himself. He did too. And the fact that he did them himself is going to take him much further. Gunna, Young Thug, it's all a humiliation ritual. So guys, relax. They aren't gonna serve years of jail time. Young Thug, we will release him very soon. Okay, we're going over his next moves. We're going over the next artist we'll give him. We're going over his label, how much money. We're getting a lot of business things together with Young Thug, and that's all it is.
That's what's going to take him to the next level.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you stopping through, Archbishop Jeffrey. We'll be back next time to break down the conspiracies and address it. We out.
What's good, y'all? It's TJ the DJ.
And this is Jeff. Hey, man, thanks for checking out this clip.
Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.